Hello, I'm Janna, and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. This is day 10 of Craftmas, and today we're going to be having some fun with lots of Stampers Anonymous elements. If you'd like to see exactly which supplies we're going to be using, go ahead and pause here. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. Today is all about Stampers Anonymous. Let's take a look at some of the Stampers Anonymous stamps. There was a really fun live where some of the stamp sets have gotten a little bit of a makeover. We've gotten some clear backings opposed to the old snowy white ones from the earliest of sets. But let's dive in and see what treasures we have today. So I did get a pretty decent stack of stamps, and I'm looking forward to making with them. These are all new to me stamp sets. First, I have got Mini Holidays. This is number 2, and it is CMS 096. So on here, we've got a lovely snowman with a bit of distressing going on, some beautiful snowflakes, that really cool lamppost. I'm absolutely obsessed with it this year. We've got some mini music notation, a sentiment of Merry Christmas and Season's Greetings. Then we've got some botanicals, a little bit of spruce, a really cool tree, and we've got these tall pines. We've got a lovely vintage Santa Claus, and this snowman right here that looks ready to stamp, perfect size for a tag. Next, I scooped up Christmas Memories. This is CMS 118. These will be lovely for watercoloring and watercolor stamping. And we get another fun Santa Claus with a Merry Christmas sentiment. Next up, we have got Deco Christmas CMS 176. We've got some lovely poinsettias. These will be perfect for watercolor stamping. We've got 2 sentiments, Christmas greetings and Christmas greetings in a second way with a different script. We've got this fun guy carrying a wreath, nice little action stamp. Oh, this one is really neat. This is a different sort of sentiment, a Merry Christmas, but we've got some angled font and then a straight down line of text. And check this out, vintage sleigh pulled by 2 horses. That is lovely. I've got a really fun mirror stamping technique that we can definitely use with that. I've got a really good idea for this one today. Next, we have got Halftone Christmas. This one is CMS 204, and this was one that was missing from my stash. I got the Halftones Halloween, so I thought I would follow it right up with the Christmas edition. We've got a fun snowman, we've got a tree, a snowflake, and then we've got a cheerful Santa Claus. That's going to be fun to stamp out and see what we get. Now we have a background set. This is Holiday Knit CMS 206. This has been on my wish list for so long. I've got quite a few ideas with this one. We could emboss, we could watercolor stamp, we could distress stamp with some of the mini stamps and then give it a good spritz. There are so many things that we could do with this background. We could even go over a kind of plain background and stamp over the top just with an archival or an oxide. So super excited to add that one to the collection. And last but not least, for stamp sets, we have got Christmas Nostalgia. This is CMS 207. We've got a lovely background of snowflakes. We've got Santa and his reindeer. If this looks familiar, this may have been one of the inspirations for the Sizzix set Dash Away. Love the little reindeer, but you'll definitely see this image pop up in more than one form. We've got a vintage Merry Christmas here. We've got a little postmark, a little bit more greenery. We've got some great fill-in-the-blank background stamps. So all sorts of fun to be had with stamping. Now, I didn't just scoop up stamps. Well, I absolutely had to get some stencils as well to fill out parts of my collection. So we have got this lovely holly leaf. This is THS 015. That will be great to run texture paste through or to just do a little bit of inking. Then, of course, I had to get the matching Nordic sweater print. This is THS 028. Definitely been on the wish list for a bit. Really glad to have that. This one is going to be a lovely background set, and this is THS 098. It's just Merry Christmas in a repeated pattern, but that would make a really good addition to a background. And of course, we have seen so much plaid this year, I couldn't pass up a plaid stencil, and this one is THS 097. Then for the next stencil, I've got this fun tree stencil. This is like a pine, and this one is THS 096. Another good one for backgrounds. Then I've got this beautiful candy stripe. This is THS 095. More to add to my Christmas collection. And this one, I absolutely love this. I've had it in mini for quite a while, and I've been waiting to be able to add it in the full size. This is THS 029. We've got some lovely holly, a little bit of pine, and some berries, and even some pine cones. So lots of fun to be had in stenciling. Now, I also got 3 of the components stamp sets. I thought those would be fun. They're a little different, and we got 3 of them. We have this one with the cute little reindeer, and we've got a little sentimental alongside. I want to work with these and do a whole bunch of inking, and I'm thinking these would be really pretty if we did some embossing first and then inked in the background. These will be great for mini card fronts or a focal point on a larger card. Next, we have got this little Christmas collage. It's got Noel, we've got the little snowflakes going on, Believe, we've got the Santa Claus, and the calendar. Definitely neat. So these also do have numbers in the back. The first one with the reindeer is, it's called Reindeer Games. That's COM 027. This one is COM 025, Christmas Miracle. And then this one is COM 026, First Christmas. And here we've got a really neat collage, all sorts of things going on. So I'm looking forward to stamping these out and seeing what we can make. Okay. So we've got all sorts of things. I think what we're going to do first is make a card, and this is going to be a basic stamping, and we're going to be doing a bit of scene building. So here we have our Distress White Heavy Stock, and there were 2 stamp sets that immediately grabbed my attention that I was thinking would be perfect for a scene. I want to grab those trees, and I was also thinking about the sleigh. Nope, not that sleigh, the other sleigh. There we go. So I have got an idea right away for some stamping, and this one in particular brings to mind a mirror technique that I think would be really neat to pull off with that stamp. Okay, so let's open these up. We'll build our background first and then get into stamping our images. So what I want to do is I want to grab those trees and this tree. This is from Mini Holidays 2, CMS 096. And then we're going to grab the sleigh, and let's also grab Christmas Greeting. I want to emboss that at the very end. Okay, so we'll need this one and that one. Great. Now let's see here. I'm going to flip this sideways. So the first thing that I want to do is stamp. I think I want to stamp this down first. Then we'll try to fill in the backdrop with... No, let's do these first. This is going to be stamped in Distressed Archival Black Soot. So if I stamp with something lighter, the black soot is definitely going to be covering it up. All right, have to think in layers. So I have a stamping block, have this. Now I need some ink, but the question is, which inks do I want? I think I'm going to go for, well, you know what, let's go with a little bit of both, Distress and Distress Oxide. I think we'll go with the Stormy Sky from the Oxide, and How about some Uncharted Mariner from the classic Distress? All right. So what I want to do is stamp in the background, and then we'll work on the main focal point. So plenty of ink, tap, tap, tap. And this is going to be over here. Great. And I do want to kind of layer this. I can get some extra stamping right here. Second generation. All right. And I'll re-ink again. That Uncharted Mariner is gorgeous. And we'll stamp over here. And lift. Good. And let's see if I can't get that second generation stamping as well. Put that down, move that over a little bit, and right there. Okay, that works out very nicely. We're done with that stamp. Now I want to use this little tree here, and we're going to sneak that in these little empty spots. So again, plenty of ink. This one is Stormy Skies. That's going to go right here. Ooh, that is looking good. Let's go for one in the middle. Okay, and one more over there. Take that, stamp that down here. Okay, I am loving the background that we've made. Very, very fun. So I want to put back some of the stamps that we have used. Here we go. That one and this one. That way I don't lose anything. Great. And now I want to stamp our main focal point. Okay. So we have that. We're going to need plenty of black soot. Okay, let's stamp it out. If it doesn't stamp perfectly clear, I'm going to go over it with some black embossing powder. But hopefully this will stamp beautifully. That looks great. Couldn't have asked for a better stamping. All right, now the next part, I want to do a mirror image stamp down here because I want it to look like the sleigh is going by a icy river. But before we do that, I'm going to draw in a line so that we can tell where the riverbank is. Okay, and for that I'm just using a Distress watercolor crayon. This is Tumbled Glass. And I'm also going to add in just a little bit around the base of those trees to anchor them. Okay, that is coming out really, really good. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's find our next piece. We're going to be pulling in a gel plate in order to get that mirror image. Here is the gel plate. This one is absolutely enormous, but it will work very nicely for us today. So this is by Gel Press. Let's go ahead, we'll just take that right out of the box. I don't want that box to go too far. I'm going to need that to put it back. And I've definitely used this a fair bit. So I'm going to peel back the protective covering. Set that aside. Okay, that's looking pretty clean. That's a very good sign. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to take our stamp and we're going to ink that up again. Plenty of ink. And then we're going to stick that down right onto the gel. And that is going to transfer the image. And then we'll be able to transfer it back onto the card, and it's going to be done in reverse because I can't just take the stamp, flip it, and have it match. Things would be backwards. It doesn't work. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take that, stamp it, give it a second for the ink to transfer, just nice and firm, and lift. And you can see right here that we have our image. We're going to set our card down. I'm going to take this and we're going to line things up the best that we can. I'm also going to wipe away a little bit of ink that I don't want in one spot. That's one of the nice things about the gel plate. It is possible to edit before committing to stamping. Okay, so that's looking really good. I'm going to line this up. And then we're going to drop it down. Okay, a little bit of pressure. And it doesn't have to be crystal clear. I just need a image, even if it's a little hazy, underneath the feet of our running sled. So we get that reflection on the ice. And lift. And check that out. We've got a mirror image below our horse. That to me is just insanely cool. Now this technique, the first time I heard about it was through Lavinia Stamp, and it's been a great one that I've been able to use with many other stamp sets. Okay, I'm just going to tuck that gel press away. That's what we needed it for, and we have our mirror image. So before we move on to our next card idea, I want to quickly grab some stickles so that we can have a little bit of sparkling ice. Okay, I've got some of the Stardust stickles. Those will be pretty. Give that bottle a quick shake. All right. Now we're just going to add a little bit of shine and sparkle. There we go. What I'm doing, I'm just running a few lines so that we have a bit of shine, so that we know that this part is all ice. There we go. Just some jaggedy little lines, a little touch of sparkle. And the last thing that we are going to do with this card is add a sentiment. Okay, there we go. We are all about ice today, so let's go ahead and add some silver embossing powder over the top. Now, one thing I do want to do, I want to give this a very quick dust first so that I don't have any surprises of embossing powder in places that I don't want it. So, just taking out another of these anti-static pouches. I have several kicking around, but I lose them pretty easily. All right. All good. I'll put that back in the drawer, so hopefully I don't lose that one. And we'll just put our stamp on here, and then I want a bit of embossing ink. I've got my trusty embossing dabber right here. We're just going to tap. We'll pick this up, make sure that we have ink where we want it. We're going to tilt, and if we have shine, that's a good indication there is ink. Spots that don't have shine means there is no ink. But we look pretty good in this case. All right. So, ooh, do I want the smaller one? I actually do want the smaller one of these. That is going to be just a little bit too big. So I'm just going to swap out my sentiments. Let's go with this one. That should work. Okay. And again, tap it with the dabber. Great. And now we can stamp. Got my scrap paper here. Do a quick little lift and a sprinkling of Ranger Silver embossing powder. Okay, that is good. Now I just need to emboss it. Tip the powder right back into the jar. We are doing great. Lid on jar so no messes. Okay, back in just a moment after we have embossed. Okay, here we go. This is the completed card with our embossing. I am super happy with the way this one turned out. Very wintry, very, very Christmassy. Loving the little bit of extra sparkle in the ice below. And we have our mirror imaging stamping. Okay, I can't stop here. Let's do another card with these really fun stamp sets. Next, we're going to be pulling out the Holiday Knit. This is CMS 206, and we're going to be doing two cards. First, we'll do one with the reindeer print, and then we'll do one with the poinsettias. But let's do both of the backgrounds at the same time, since both will require some distress watercolor cardstock. Okay, so we have our paper, and let's start with this stamp first. For this one, we're going to be stamping with some distress ink. We're going to be using Villainous Potion and Uncharted Mariner. Now, let's grab our large stamping block. Put this down and start inking things up. Okay, so the plan is to do this in chunks. Let's get our blue done first, then we'll go back and add the purple. Now with this, you really could do a whole bunch of things. You could go in with distressed watercolor pencils, you could go in with distressed mini inks or oxides, or you could stamp this as an embossed background or a plain inked background over a pre-decorated background. There are quite a few options. So what we want to do is add some color and then stamp things out and see how they look. I decided to go for some really cool tones this time round, but feel free to pick whichever colors speak to you. I'm definitely in the mood for some ice and cold colors. All right, this is good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the distress sprayer and just give this a very quick spritz before we stamp it down on the smooth side of the distress watercolor cardstock. Okay, that is good. Got my cardstock, got my stamp, flip, and setting it down. Good firm pressure all over the stamp. And I'll definitely be trimming this one down. I'm thinking I want to mat it over another background. Or I could do a washi tape edge, or I could do a distress paint edge. Choices, not sure. All right, let's lift. Beautiful. We have got some lovely color. I'm going to set this aside and we'll do that second background right now. Okay, switching things out. Got that. Put this back on the sheet. I am really loving the detail of this one. It's just such a fun print. And this one can go right up here. Good. All right. This time I'm going for some lumberjack plaid and a bit of peacock feathers. Okay. So, smooshing this out. And this one is an oxide. Just a little twist, a little smush. We are doing pretty good. Almost done with that lumberjack plaid. Then we can switch over to our peacock feathers. Great. Peacock feather time. And just tap, tap, tap. We might have a little bit of overlap, but I'm not too worried. This is going to look great. Okay, I think we are good. All right. Great. Now, let's give this a little spray. Smooth side of our cardstock. Flip and stamp. Good firm pressure all over. And lift. There we go. Lovely. So we have got our backgrounds all done. Now I want to give them both a chance to dry, so let's stamp our focal points. Let's move this off to the side. There we go. Give our surface a quick little wipe down. There we go. Cleaning as we go. Next, I want to pull out this lovely components set. I'm also going to pull out some Distress White Heavy Stock. Okay, so hopefully this will fit on this side without any issues. And I also wanted to stamp a snowman on the other side. And I'm hoping they'll both fit. Yes, they will. Great. So now I just need my smaller stamping block, and I think we'll stamp out the snowman first. Then we'll go back and stamp the component piece. All right. Exciting. I love it when cards just fall together so easily, and with these stamp sets, the cards really do build themselves. Okay, so for our snowman, we're going to want some Distress Archival Black Soot. That's going to be for the outline. Good. And let's stamp this down. Okay, great. And then I want a lighter color in oxide for the next layer. Now this one has 2 layers. And just to reiterate, this is stamp set Halftone Christmas CMS 204. Okay, good. Put the ink cover back on. Let's grab our oxides. That can get put away. Let's see. Let's go with more Stormy Skies. That's a good color. So this is going to add a really neat accent to our initial stamped image. Let's see how it goes. Oh boy, this is going to require some careful lining up. Oh boy. Well, I think we're just going to have to go for it. Might be a little off, but that will probably just make this charming. not bad. I don't think we were off by much. That is looking pretty cute. All right. So that's our halftone piece. Now let's see about the components. Okay, so I have the component one right here. We're going to stamp in black ink, and then I'm going to go back. I don't know if I'm going to go back. I kind of like that as is. Let's see how it looks once it is stamped out. Ooh, so much detail. It's really nice. All right, let's see how it looks. Again, good firm pressure all over. Very, very pretty. You know, I'm not doing a thing with that. That is fantastic just the way it is. So let's just cut it out. I really want to layer it up with something and go from there. So I've got the Tiny Tonic trimmer here. And we can just trim things up. There we go. It's looking really nice. One more side. Excellent. Okay. Great. So we'll just set that aside. Now I want to cut out our little snowman. I've got the Tiny Tonic snips. A little bit of fussy cutting. Just working our way around the snowman. There we go. And he's going to make a great focal point. All right. So, 2 more cards, pretty much all put together. And we've been featuring the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stamps. I'm really happy that these don't get discontinued. I'm slowly building up my entire collection. So hopefully one day I'll be able to have them all. All right, and turn. There we go. Now remember, turn the paper, not your hand. No reason to perform acrobatics while fussy cutting. Definitely halfway there. Just want to get around that hat carefully. All right. So just a couple more little loops, and this is going to be in great shape. Good. All right, and there we go. We've got our snowman. Fantastic. So let's bring our backgrounds back. We're just going to take a quick look and figure out how we're going to put everything together. All right. This one I really want to trim down and layer things up. I want to do some golden layers. And you know what? I kind of want to color this all in green. Yeah. So if I do a background layer in gold, then color this in green, and then layer in gold, we can have a beautiful layer card. All right, so I'm just gonna take a bit of a chunk, just trim this down. Great. Yeah, that's gonna look really good layered. All right, next. This one I'm leaning towards a washi tape border, but I need something to anchor our snowman in the middle. Maybe a tree. I do have some ideology pieces or a wreath. Oh, we have a tree. Is that the tree that I want, or do I have another tree? So many choices. It is a good thing. Okay, I think we're going to go with the tree, and we can add a little bit of decoration to it. And we'll also add in some tape for the border, I think. Alright, a little bit of glue. Scribble that on. And I think we'll pop the snowman up with a bit of foam tape. Just place that right here. Maybe a little up. There's good. Okay. And let's get some foam for the snowman. There we go. That's good. Take the little pieces off the back. Great. And we'll stick him right here. That's great. And now I want some droplets. I've decided to go with some of the holiday droplets, just to switch things up a bit. And I'm also going to grab a faceted star for the top of the tree. There we go. Okay. So a little bit for the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Star first. Beautiful. All right. And 1, 2. Oh, this is a little slippery. 3. 4. 5. 6. Got some white ones. 7. And one more white one. 8. Okay. Pretty good. So the last thing I need is a bit of decorative tape, and this will be another card completed. And I'm just tucking away my ingredients as we go along. Moving that off to the side. Now, let's see. What do I have for tapes? Perfect. I've got a beautiful blue border one. So we'll need our ATG tape. There we go. Let's work our way all the way around and see what we can do. Okay. Turn. And let's find that tape end. There we go. And I want the scallops facing outward. Yep, that is going to work really well. Very good. Flip and flip. Turn. Oh, what's happening here? There we go. Now, another segment of tape. And around. Scallops facing outward. Just try to keep track. Good. Lift, tuck, tuck. And turn again. Another line of the ATG. Love this stuff. Super easy for putting things together. and less messy than glue, which is always a bonus. Love glue. There's a time and place for it, but sometimes I want to be mess-free. Okay, sticking that down. Wonderful. And flip that, flip that. Last side. And I'm thinking I want some more droplets on the corners, of course. Last bit of decorative tape. We'll take that, stick it down, run it across. Very good. Okay, that is really looking great. I'm very, very happy with it. Okay, and droplets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go for the silver ones. There we go. Very, very pretty. I love these. They just add a little something extra special to a card. I do love things that are shiny. The droplets are definitely some of my favorite embellishments. All right. So the only thing this is lacking is a sentiment. And I've got my sticker book right here. Oh, perfect. Let's go for filled with joy and gladness. That snowman is just really joyful. All right. That we can call done. Now let's see about that other card that we're going to be layering up. And I want that smaller piece with me so we can add a little bit of green. Instead of painting this on, I think we can go with a dash of Distress Spray Stain Rustic Wilderness. Okay, there we go. Nice and easy. So, quick little clean. And now I need to pull out some golden cardstock. Let's find some gold. Okay, I have my gold. Now I'm just going to add a bit of adhesive to the back of this. And then I will cut it out using the tiny tonic trimmer, and we'll also get out our card base at the same time. Good. So we'll just take that, move that along here. Great. Okay, that is ready to go. Now I just want a good base with the cardstock. So of course we're measuring in at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So just off to the side, I'm doing my measurements. There's my 5 1/2 and my 4 1/4. We'll come back. Alright, turn and slice. Great. So let's just add this. Then we'll have our layers, and I'm thinking I want a little bit of foam tape to pop up that decorative section. Okay, take that. All right. That really does look good on there. And then that can get popped in. Okay. We're doing really good. Now I just need my foam. and we will be all set. One, two, three, four, and I want one more. Good. And we'll just pop those backings off. Then I just need to debate if I want another sentiment. There technically is a sentiment on that middle piece, but at the same time, I kind of want to add another one just because. That does look pretty elegant. I like it. Okay, yeah, I think I do want another sentiment. Good thing I've got my sentiment box here. Let's see what I can dig up. I need something with gold on it. Ooh. Happy Holidays, that's a possibility. What else? Oh, I like that. Let's go with this one. And I do want a large chunk of foam to stick that up. Otherwise it's going to kind of vanish. Let's see. I think we'll put it right here. Yeah, that works out really nicely. Okay. I like it. So there we go. That is our third example from Stampers Anonymous. Today has been all about Stampers Anonymous and the Tim Holtz stamps. There are so many wonderful sets out there. It's so hard to choose, and I was very excited to have the Stampers Anonymous showcase this year featuring some specific sets. Made it a little bit easier to choose which ones I wanted to add to the collection this year. So here we go. 3 lovely card examples done with Stampers Anonymous stamps. We have worked with some flat stamping on some distress white heavy stock using oxide, distress ink, and archival. We also featured a mirror technique for that beautiful sleigh. Then we moved on to some background stamping with distress inks and distress oxide. We made some festive backgrounds, added a little bit of water to get some movement, and we went with a warm tone and a cool tone. The one on the right is featuring the adorable snowman from Halftone Christmas, paired with an ideology layer and, of course, some droplets and a faceted star. Then over to the left, we used one of the Stampers Anonymous component stamps, sprayed with Distress Spray Stain Rustic Wilderness, and layered with some ideology metallic gold craft stock. Thank you so much for joining me here today at the Crafty Corner for some stamping fun. And until next time, happy crafting!